Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's time to break down today's games for Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024. But first, let's take a look at how we did yesterday. It was a great start to the month, guys. We're up $328 yesterday. The big hit was the Braves Cubs hit prop. We had Seiya Suzuki, Cody Bellinger, Michael Busch, and then on the Braves, we had Ozzie Albies and Matt Olson to all get a hit at plus 536. Bellinger got his hit in the 8th. Busch his hit in the 9th, so it wasn't without a sweat, but we got there, so that was a big one. The big loss, the 5-player hit and K prop, we lost $100 on that. It was plus 1165. We could have had a really good day. We had Mullins to get a hit, and he got one. We had Santander to get a hit, and he got one. We had Jazz Chisholm to get a hit. He got one. We had Jonathan India to get a hit. He got one. But we had Andrew Abbott over 6 strikeouts. He had 3 strikeouts through the first 2 innings, and then all of a sudden in the last 3 and the 3rd inning, he only got 1 strikeout. So we were 2 strikeouts away from really having a nice day yesterday. But still, we'll take the plus 328 to the start of the month and hope to build on it today. The first 2 games of the day are the Minnesota Twins at the Milwaukee Brewers and the Kansas City Royals at the Baltimore Orioles. In the Minnesota-Milwaukee game, we have Louis Varland versus Jacob Junis. Both pitchers are mid-level pitchers. They don't have a lot of experience against the opponent, so I'm not really sure which way to lean on this one, so I think it's best to just stay away from this one. However, I do like Byron Buxton, Carlos Correa, and Carlos Santana all to get a hit in the game. They do have some experience at bats against Junis. He used to pitch in the division, so they've had some moderate success against him, so I think all of them can get a hit. And then the Kansas City-Baltimore game, I don't like anything in this game. We have Irvin versus Marsh. Marsh is making his debut against the Orioles. Irvin did have 1 start against Kansas City last year, and it was pretty good. Baltimore's offense has been rolling this year, so I do probably lean Baltimore. However, they're a minus 165 for a pitcher that I really don't have 100% faith in right now, so I'm just going to stay away from it, and we can move on to other games of the day. The next 2 games up are the Cincinnati Reds at the Philadelphia Phillies and the Los Angeles Angels at the Miami Marlins. First, in the Cincinnati-Philadelphia game, we like the Reds money line. We had Reds first 5 yesterday, which was a loss, and they ended up winning the game. So this time we're going to learn our lesson and take them for the entire game. Ashcraft last year pitched really well for the Reds. So him against Turnbull. Turnbull missed all of 22 with Tommy John. He only made a couple starts last year and was less than effective. So we're going to go with the Reds in this one. And then the LA-Miami game, Anderson versus Luzardo. Miami has not looked good. They're 0-5 on the year at home. Luzardo being their ace, he pitched opening day and didn't look bad. Miami has blown 3 games late, so it does kind of scare me a little bit, but I'm going to take the Marlins money line at minus 145. Luzardo is a much better pitcher than Anderson, so hopefully this time he can go into the 6th or 7th inning even, and Miami can hold the lead. The next 2 games up are the Texas Rangers at the Tampa Bay Rays and the Detroit Tigers at the New York Mets. In the Texas-Tampa Bay game, we like the Tampa Bay Rays money line at minus 155. Obviously, Texas won yesterday's game pretty handily. However, last year, Texas was 6-2 against Tampa Bay, including the playoffs, and one of those losses was with Haney on the mound. So I think that the Rays can win this one. Plus, the Texas Rangers lost Josh Young yesterday. He broke his wrist, so he's going to be out. He's a big bat in that lineup. He's been off to a good start. Multiple home runs already on the year. He had one yesterday. So we're going to rock with Tampa Bay. And then the Detroit-New York game, we like the Tigers plus 110 on the money line. We had the Tigers yesterday at plus 126, and they came through for us. Today they have Hauser on the mound. He's just been a mid-level pitcher for the Brewers, nothing really spectacular. I think Detroit can get to him a little bit. And then with Mize on the mound, he's missed the last 2 years due to injury, but he was a top prospect with electric stuff. So if he's going to be healthy this year, the Mets offense has really sputtered already this year too. So I think maybe Detroit can jump on him and get the win today. Next up, we have the Colorado Rockies at the Chicago Cubs and the Atlanta Braves at the Chicago White Sox. In the Colorado-Chicago Cubs game, we like the Cubs money line at minus 205. However, we never like to lay more than minus 180, so make sure you follow me on X, formerly Twitter, and on Instagram to get my final plays and see who we partner the Cubs up with in a parlay. And then we also like Seiya Suzuki and Dansby Swanson to each get a hit. At home, right-handers against a left-hander Freeland, who was less than effective in the opening day start against Arizona. So we'll take both those guys to get a hit. And then in the Atlanta White Sox game, we don't like anything in this game. Atlanta's a minus 225. That's a heavy favorite to lay on Reynaldo Lopez making his starting debut. He hasn't started in a long time. He was a reliever for the White Sox, a long reliever who maybe pitched 2-3 innings and was effective in that role, but now as a starter, we're just not sure. Plus, Garrett Crochet looked really good on opening day. I know it was against the Detroit Tigers, and the Atlanta Braves have a lot more offensive firepower than Detroit, so this is going to be a good test for him. I would say Atlanta probably does win the game, but at minus 225, I'm definitely not laying that, and I'm not going to try to mess up a parlay with it either. Next up, we have the Toronto Blue Jays at the Houston Astros and the Boston Red Sox at the Oakland Athletics. In the Toronto-Houston game, obviously Toronto got no hit yesterday, so that came out of nowhere. Definitely didn't expect that. We stayed away from that game, but in this game, we take Toronto to have the bounce back. We like the Blue Jays money line at plus 130. They have Brios on the mound. He pitched really good on opening day against Tampa Bay. Plus, Framber Valdez, he looked like he was on his way to being an ace. And then last year, his year wasn't the best. And then all of a sudden this year in the opener against the Yankees, the Astros jumped out to a 4-0 lead, and he could not hold it. So we like Toronto in this game. We also like Kyle Tucker, Bo Bichette, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to get a hit. Tucker being a lefty against Brios, the righty. He's had some success against them in the past. And then Vlad being a righty against the lefty, he's had some success. So has Bo. We'll see if Bo plays, though. Obviously, he's missed the last 2 games due to neck spasms. So obviously, he's not serious. Not putting him on the IL. So we'll see if he plays. And then in the Boston-Oakland game, we like the Red Sox money line minus 160. Bayo looked really good in the opener against Seattle, and Wood did not look very good against Cleveland. Cleveland was like 26th in the league in scoring last year, and Wood gave up 6 runs in 3 1/3 innings. So obviously Boston's offense is better than that. So we'll take the Red Sox money line. This might be our parlay partner with the Cubs. We'll just have to take a look at it a little bit further. The next games up are the Cleveland Guardians at the Seattle Mariners and the St. Louis Cardinals at the San Diego Padres. In the Cleveland-Seattle game, they have Bieber versus Castillo, 2 aces on the mound, both very good pitchers. Bieber obviously was a little bit more effective than Castillo. However, Bieber faced Oakland and Castillo faced Boston, so 2 drastically different teams. However, we still like Seattle money line on this one, minus 125. We had the Mariners yesterday, and they came through. They got out to an early lead and held on. The Guardians tried to come back, but they just couldn't score enough. And then we like 0 runs in the first inning. Last year, Bieber played Castillo against Castillo in April last year. They both went 6 innings, no runs. Seattle ended up getting the win 3-0, but neither one of them got the decision. So we're hoping that they can run that back. We also probably like the under in this game. However, the under is 7 runs. That's a low under, so we're probably just going to stay away from that. And then we like J.P. Crawford to get a hit. He's a lefty against Bieber, the righty, and he hits leadoff, so he's going to get 5 at-bats in the game. So we like Crawford to get a hit. And then the St. Louis-San Diego game, we like the Padres money line at minus 135. Mikolas versus Darvish. Mikolas obviously got knocked around by the Dodgers in the opener, and San Diego's offense can be just as potent. And Darvish this year, over in Korea and then back over here in the States against San Francisco, he's only given up 1 earned run so far, so he's been pretty effective. So we like Darvish in this game, and so we'll take the Padres money line for this match. The last 2 games of the day are the New York Yankees at the Arizona Diamondbacks and the San Francisco Giants at the LA Dodgers. In the Yankees-Diamondbacks game, we like the Diamondbacks money line at minus 115. It's Cortez versus Gallen. Gallen obviously looked really good on opening day against the Rockies. Their offense isn't as good as the Yankees. However, Soto is the lightning rod of the Yankees so far this year, and Gallen actually has held him to a 158 batting average in 19 at-bats, so he does have experience of shutting Soto down. Also, Cortez, he didn't look the best against the Astros. He gave up 4 runs really early. He did hold him after that, so I'll have to give him, it was a gritty performance after he gave up the 4 runs and kept his team in it. And obviously they came back and he got a no decision, but I'm still going to take the Diamondbacks. And then in the Giants-Dodgers game, at the time that I'm recording this, the Dodgers still haven't named their starter, so I can't really tell you which way to lean on the money line or not. But I do like Freddie Freeman and Max Muncy each to get a hit off of Webb. They both have over 20 at-bats against Webb. Muncy has a 364 average, and Freddie Freeman has a 407 average. So they're both lefties against Webb, the righty, and have a lot of experience, so I'll take both of them to get a hit. Okay, so that does it for today's games. Please leave a comment and let me know what you think about the analysis. Let me know if you are thinking different than I am, or if you agree with me. Let me know if you're fading me or if you're tailing me. Let me know if you're making some money off some of these plays. Obviously, yesterday was a good day. And then if you hit the like and subscribe button, it's going to do a lot for me as I try to launch this channel. It will really help me out. And then if you click on the notification bell, you'll get the notification as to when I post my video every day. So that way you can be more informed before you place your bets. And then last, if you follow me on Sportsbook, Sportsbook Whisper, no vowels in Sportsbook, on X, formerly Twitter, and on Instagram. That's where I post my final plays. Like I've said all along, guys, the plays in this video are the leans, but until I see the final lineups posted, or last minute injuries, or money line movements and all that kind of stuff, I list my final plays on those platforms about an hour to two before game time. So make sure you're following me there, and then hopefully we can make it 2 days in a row, guys, and get this month off to a really banging start. And I'll see you all tomorrow.